Hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Andrea Kilpatrick, and I am here introducing my new wonderful show with the MRS.GLOBE organization called Changes, Transitions with Grace and maturity, as we say, as we get older, over that 45-degree mark. I am so excited to be here today with you all, and I think I figured all of this live show stuff out, so I'm really excited about that. I want to say hello to some fabulous people that are signing in right now. Hello, JM. What's going on? Okay, there we go. And I have, who else do I have saying hello? Lots of people saying hello. I'm so glad that you're signing in. JA. Hello, Tony Elton 20. So glad that you're signing in, that you are here to listen to my new guest. I have a wonderful guest. She is from South Africa. So it's going to be very interesting. She's 9 hours ahead. I'm here Mountain Standard Time in Colorado. So this is going to be really, really fun. I hope this poor connection can continue to work well. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my guest from South Africa. Her name is ADELE Wotherspoon. It's not Witherspoon, some people think so, but it's Wotherspoon from South Africa. She is a businesswoman. She's an entrepreneur. She's very involved in her community. She directs pageants. She has a makeup facility, school that she's a part of there. She's very involved in her community and her work and being involved with issues in South Africa. She's an amazing woman. And there was one thing when I was reading about her and talking to her and getting to know her, is she has a life motto, which I think was really cool. And I think everybody kind of has a life motto, but we just really just don't share it. Anyway, I just, her life motto was, or is we cannot all do great things, but we can do small things with great love. What an amazing motto to live by as life, as your life continues when you're young to old to what we're going to discuss today with her. She had a major decision in her life right at the beginning of COVID, and had to make a really difficult decision regarding her mother. Her mother became ill, and she had to make a decision if she should take care of her or if she should put her in an assisted living facility. And I want her to share more with you about that and how important it is to have to make that kind of decision for an adult child, and how I know that there are a lot of you out there that are going through this or experiencing something like this and really don't have anybody to talk to about it. So ADELE has such a wonderful story and such a wonderful connection with her mother that with her sharing this, it kind of connected with her life motto, where she made this decision with great love. So let me please introduce you to my friend and my Globette sister, ADELE Wotherspoon. Welcome, ADELE. Are you there? I think she's coming on. Yay, I see her.
Hi.
Hello. ADELE, I can't see you. I can only hear your beautiful voice.
Okay, I need to do something else. I think I need to have my video on.
Yes, yes. Press video, please.
Hey. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. I can hear you. It's perfect. Just would love to see your beautiful face. Well, Ashley,
I don't know where to put the video on.
You're trying to figure that out? All right. You know, this whole
Okay.
I swear, I cannot figure out this filter thing. I think I'm going to need a tutorial from someone like in person. I'm definitely a visual learner, and I don't do well with written directions. I'm one of those people that you pick something up from IKEA and you know how you get those 50 pages of instructions on to put a thing together for IKEA. And yeah, it just doesn't go well. I would rather just look at the pictures and go from there. Let's see if we can get her now. Adele. There she is. Look at that beautiful face. I'm so excited to see you. It's been so long. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fabulous, fabulous. And what time, you know, just curiosity, what time is it there?
It's now 6:05 at night, but it's pitch dark already in South Africa. It's winter, so it's really, really cold.
Oh, yeah, it's yeah, she does this military time thing, so I have to convert things over. I'm like, no, is it 6 o'clock there? What time is it there?
Yeah, 6 o'clock at night.
Yes, and it's already dark at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Wow.
in winter it is.
Wow, that's amazing. It stays light here during the summer months until 9, almost 9 o'clock, 8:30.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
well, it's still about 7:30 in the summer.
yes.
But in the winter, it's dark at about 5:15, 5:30.
Wow, wow. And that's what happens during our winter months as well. So I was just sharing some fabulous things about you. You are an incredible, incredible woman. I'm just so excited to call you my friend. And we were today's topic is basically making that difficult decision as an adult child to take care of your ill parent. And in your case, it's your mother.
Yes.
And I just want you to share a little bit with us. I mean, I know these these last 5 months have been really horrible for just the world in general. But for you, it has been more of a snowball effect during all of this time, has it not?
Yes, very, very, very bad. Yeah.
Yes. And I appreciate it so much that you're willing to share this, because I know that there are other women out there that are having to do this and having to make these decisions. And it's nice, always nice to know and comforting to know that somebody else is going through it too. And it kind of is comfort to you as a person that somebody else is doing it too, and what they did to give them strength, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Could you share a little bit about your family with us?
So I grew up, I'm the youngest girl of 3 girls, and I have 3 stepsisters, and we grew up in a house with 1 bathroom, and we were 6 girls with 1 bathroom. So can you imagine that?
No. I have 3 girls in this house, and we all have our own bathrooms, so no. Bless you, sister.
Yeah, so I grew up in a house, 1 bathroom house.
Oh no.
And I'm the youngest of 3 girls. Mm-hmm. And I have 3 amazing, amazing children. I've got, my son is 26, then I have a daughter that's 25, and then I've got my young daughter, she's 15.
Wow. Okay, so she's still in high school.
She's still in high school, yes.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Well, that's, I mean, you came from, I mean, you're the baby. I'm a baby too, so it's different, but 3 girls in 1 bathroom, I'm just still astonished by that. I was reading statistically that adult children really have, they really have to make this decision about their ill parent earlier than they really think that they have to. It's really not a thought process, right? They said that 65% of adult children have to make this decision. That's a huge percentage. Do you think that that's, I mean, right now, I think you just had a birthday and turned the big 5. Did you just turn the beautiful? Well, you don't look at all over the age of 25, which is a little hard considering your son's 25.
I don't feel over 25.
Yes, you both were born at the same time. No, so anyway, do you think that statistic is that 65% is pretty accurate?
I
Even there
think
in
it's
South
pretty,
Africa?
it definitely is, but you don't, you should think about that when you're much younger and prepare yourself for that. But I don't think we prepare ourselves for that, and then one day it just happens and you kind of forced into it, and you then have to deal with it. So I think if people, you know, if the statistics say 65%, I think that we need to start thinking about this when we're much younger. It might just, you know, it might not be that traumatic in the end, if you can, you know, think about it when you're younger.
Yeah, a lot of, I mean, here in America, a lot of people think that that's a morbid thought, but they also think that planning your funeral or having an open conversation about what you want and how you want it is morbid as well. It's kind of a faux pas. Those are just conversations you aren't supposed to talk about. And, but I would have to agree that it should be an open conversation with your parent when everybody is healthy. And there are no surprises, right?
No, but your parents don't want to have that conversation because it was always my mother's worst nightmare to think that one day we will put in an old age home. They don't want to have that conversation, but it's so much needed.
They don't, and here it's joked about a lot. I would have to say in my personal family, my husband, who is the oldest of three, he jokes about it with his parents, you know, like, oh, mom, don't worry. If you can't use your legs anymore, we'll just put you in a home. But it's just not, and that's how they deal with it here is,
until you face with the reality, then you think about it.
It's scary. It's a scary thought. I just can't even imagine looking at my in-laws and putting them and having to do what you had to do. Can you start from the beginning and share with me about your mother and kind of the effect of why you had to make this decision, like the process?
So it was the 30th of October 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom was perfectly fine that morning. I took her to go fetch her medicine. On our way back, I said to her, let me take you for breakfast. And she said, no, she doesn't feel well. She wants to go home. And as we progressed to her home, she just started feeling very hot. And I said to her, open the window a little bit and just get some air in. And we got to her home, I helped her, we got out, and she sat on the bed and she said, no, she needs to take her top off and put a lighter top on. And the next thing she just said, just help me. And I said, okay, let me go fetch you some Coke. And I thought maybe it's just the sugar level or something that was down. And I put the Coke in her hand, in the right hand, and she just, it fell out of her hand. Oh, wow. And I said, what's going on? Do I have to go call the nurse? And she said, go call the nurse. And everything feels like you're doing it in slow motion, but I think it was like this, and the nurses and everybody was there, and I could actually see my mom having a stroke. It haunts me sometimes because you could see, and she had the stroke on her right side. So her arm, her hand, and then her arm went. And then we put her on the bed, and she could feel, and we could see her whole right side went, her leg. And by the time the ambulance got there, the mind also went a little bit, and she wasn't conscious anymore. So, yeah, and then my mom doesn't have medical insurance, so we go through the state hospitals, and the state hospitals in South Africa are just the worst. Oh, just, they treat you very, very badly. But they treated my mom and they did all the scans they had to do, and the doctor came back to us and he said, if your mom makes it through the next 12 hours, she'll be alive. She actually had a massive stroke.
Oh my goodness.
And the right side was affected. And yeah, she was then in hospital for 2 weeks, and we then had to make the decision, what are we going to do when she's out of hospital, because she can't look after herself anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we first thought that my one sister would be able to look after her place, but it just wasn't possible. And my mom then came out of the hospital, and within 4 days we had to take her back.
Oh no. Was she
No.
was she able to communicate with you, or she was not at all?
She wasn't. Not when she came out of hospital the first time, she wasn't. And then we took her back to hospital. I actually think that she had another stroke.
Oh wow.
And I took her back to hospital, and then she was there for another 4 weeks.
Holy.
And we then decided that she would come to my house because we had to vacate her flat because she wasn't able to look after herself. Mm-hmm. So we vacated her flat, and we moved her into my house. My salon at that stage was in my house, and I took everything out of my salon, and I actually made a living space for her with her own things around her. Mm-hmm. Because I thought maybe if she had her own things around her, it would be a little bit more acceptable for her. So when she came out of hospital, she then were able to communicate with us.
Really?
But she was laying on the right side. Yes. So she had to go on nappies, and we had to do everything for her, every single thing. So you can think how going from a woman that my mom was she liked to do everything herself, from going to that to be able to do nothing for yourself. So all her dignity was taken away from her. And we had to look after her. And her mind was fine, but she can't do anything for herself. Yeah, and then we wanted to we took her to the rehab, because we really thought that maybe if we take her to the rehab, she will be able to help herself again. But something happened at the rehab, I'm not too sure what, but she then refused. She didn't want to, it was as if she just didn't want to do it. And the doctor there said to me, you have to make a decision today, because we then had to take her out of rehab because she didn't want to be in rehab. And the doctor said to us, you have to make a decision today, and you have to realize that your mother can decide for herself what she wants for her life. And if she decides she's going to lie in that bed for the rest of her life, then it's her human right to do that. So that was the hardest thing to do, to realize that she made the decision that she can't do this. She can't go through the whole process of rehabilitation. And we had to accept that. And we took her home, and we had a very nice nurse that looked after her during the day, and I would take over at night. And yeah, that's how we did it.
So how long did you do that for? You were taking care of her at night, because that must have just broken your heart just a little bit, that this strong woman that was able to do whatever she wanted by herself, now decided that she basically wasn't going to do it anymore. She didn't do it. That just must have been like, you kind of like want to just grab her and shake her and say, what's, you know, come on,
Yeah.
Mom, you know,
I
where
love
are
that.
you? Yes.
I
Yes.
really love that. But we had to realize that it's a human right. And it was her human right to decide what she wanted for herself.
Well,
And
yeah, that's,
because her mind was still very strong,
mm-hmm.
we had to just accept that. But it is very difficult because if I wasn't a strong person,
Mm-hmm.
that would have broken me.
Yes.
So I had to be very, very strong because I had to change my mom's nappy. From my mom being the strong woman, going into not being able to even go to the bathroom. I had to accept that.
Yes. And that takes strength from you and strength from her. She has her youngest daughter, you know.
Yeah, so I did this until the beginning of this year, where I actually took over at night and I had to look after my mom at night. So during the day I had to had my own businesses, I had to look after the children, you cook, you clean, you do what you have to do. And then at night, and some nights you just feel like, I can't do this. I really can't do this tonight. And then you just breathe and you have to do it.
I was going to say, what got you through that? I mean, you have this amazing life motto, which I think is it just resonated with me. But what got you through that? Just, gosh, now I have to go change my mother's nappy. You know, what got you through that inner strength? Where did that come from?
You know what? Every morning when I got out of bed and I put my feet on the ground, I actually thank God that I had another life, another day of life, where I can actually do the things that I do. And my motto actually changed a little bit, where you have to get up, you have to dress up, and you have to show up. So those three things was very, very important to me, to make sure that I get up in the morning, I dress up, I make up, I do whatever I have to do, and I show up. So that and a supporting structure and my belief in God and prayer, that got you through it.
Yeah, because I think that there are a lot of women out there that was at that, or is now at that point where you were like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I just can't do this. How am I going to do this? And I think having your belief in God and having a higher power to give you that inner strength to get you up and going. I do remember you were saying you were in like autopilot for a little bit. Like your brain just kind of, this is what I need to do. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. And that you're really not thinking about everything. You're just doing it.
You can go into autopilot, and sometimes it's also like lying on top of a tube, and you just lie there, and it's okay for a while.
I like that. Just as long as the tube doesn't move, right?
So I actually do that. So I would, if I really have a bad day and my mom is calm and everything, I would actually go to the pool and just lie there on top of the tube. Some days I have to say that whiskey also got me through it.
You did not.
I did sometimes take a whiskey, and when I had
Not
those
even a glass of wine, Adele. It's the whiskey. It's the whiskey.
So,
okay, ladies, if you're going through this, get some whiskey.
But I just have to to breathe a little bit. I would lie and I would have a whiskey. and then I would be fine again.
Oh, you are adorable. Oh my goodness. So how do you spend time with your mom now? How is your relationship and how do you spend time with her?
So this is where the difficult part comes in with COVID. So at the end of January, we moved my mom to a home because her need became so much more intense, and I realized that we were not able to, or I wasn't able to look after her anymore. Her need just became so much more intense, and she would have needed a nurse during the day and a nurse at night, and financially that was just not possible. So I decided that I had to move her to a home where they have a day staff and they have night staff that would be able to look after her. So we moved her at the end of January, and then on the 26th of March, South Africa went into lockdown. Yeah. And she then was in the home.
Alone.
And she was in the home.
Right.
I still went, she insisted that I did the nails. I had to paint them. I always used to paint the toenails red.
Oh, wow. That's a new tidbit. I'm learning about whiskey and tubes and painting. I had no idea.
So I would go there and I would paint her nails and I would do her hair and just pamper her. She loves that. She loves to be pampered.
What woman doesn't? Yeah.
And lockdown happened and we're not allowed to see her.
I know.
So
is that really difficult for you?
Since March, I was able to see her twice for about 15 minutes. And it's just so heartbreaking for her to phone me and just cry. And but you know, we have to get through this, and we have to realize that it's for our own health. And yeah, you will sometimes see me post that stroke, I hate you. COVID-19, I hate you even more because I feel like she's in a prison with COVID, and it's just so bad, but we have to work through it. And the most important thing for us now is to make sure that she's healthy and that she keeps healthy. She stays healthy.
So just one last question. When she would call you and cry like that and it just broke your heart, what words of encouragement did you give to her? Were you able to tell her?
Well, the first thing that I over and over have to make sure that she knows is that she knows that we absolutely love her to bits. And I have to encourage her that we need to do this. We have to make sure that she stays safe. She cannot be ill because if she had to get the COVID, she just would not have the resistance to live through it. Never. She will never be able to do that. So the best or the thing that I try to do is just to tell her that we love her and we miss her and we'll get through this. And when we're through this, then you know, on the other side, then everything will be fine again.
Well, I think that would be
I write a little letters, and I'm allowed to drop off at the gate. Obviously, I have to take her nappies and things, but I take her sweets and cold drinks. She loves sweets and Coke.
She loves Coke. Awesome.
So I take lots and lots of that, and I sometimes write a little letter, and I ask the staff to just read it to her, and they stick all the letters on the wall so that she can see it every day. So although we can't see her, we have that special connection still with her, where we can write a letter or we can have a little phone call and things like that. But yeah, the main thing is that we have to make sure that she's healthy and she keeps that way.
And mentally healthy. And so all of these good,
Yeah,
all of these
mentally I can see that that is deteriorating a little bit because we can't visit her. Because with a visit, we can talk about the past and we can talk about what's happening and we can talk about that. And you don't have that connection talking on the phone. Mm-hmm. So that part I can see, the mind part, I can see it's going a little bit.
A little bit. Well, just
I can actually hear it when I talk to her.
Oh, wow. Wow. Because you've been with her all of this time. Well, I really would love to talk to you for another hour because I miss you terribly. It's been so long since I've seen you.
I miss all my
She was my partner in line because it went Southeast Asia, South Africa. So I just want to thank you so much, Adele, for sharing this. This is a very important topic that needs to be talked about, but for you to open up your heart and share these intimate details that you had with your mother and the things that you had to do is, I greatly appreciate it. The Mrs. Globe organization appreciates it. And I think everybody that heard took a little bit of a takeaway with them of strength and courage and what you need to do to keep going. Thank you again for gracing us with your beautiful face and soul. Mwah. I love you and thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.
We'll talk again. Bye.
Yes, absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So with that amazing interview, now I'm a little bit over my time, but it makes up for last week. I just want to end you with this thought. It takes time to come to terms with how ill a parent is and accepted that they need a higher level of care. And as the adult child that you have to go through this and figure out the processes to, you know, just like Adele, where she just knew that she couldn't take care of her mother and she needed to be in a facility that could do the things that she wasn't able to do. With the focus of, you need to be able to make that decision guilt-free. I know that society and you yourself put that guilt on you for having to do that with your parent, but it's better for them and it's better for you to live a good, great quality of life and that you can be their daughter. Like now Adele is able to encourage her and talk to her and not really necessarily have to take care of her all the time and embrace her as a mother still. So with that thought, thank you so much for watching Changes, and tune in next week as we embrace more steps of transitioning with grace with me, Andrea Kilpatrick, Mrs. Globe Classique 2019. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.